Assalamualaikum. In this video, we are going to share our documentation for community event, which the title is Upcycling. Firstly, before we did the survey and conduct observation, we have introduced the upcycling definition to them. The first question would be, what is upcycling? Upcycling is defined as reuse discarded objects or material in such a way as to create a product of higher quality or value than the original. In other words, upcycling is a form of recycling that focuses on transforming unwanted items or materials into covetable, high-value upcycled products. It can be as simple as taking an old piece of clothing or furniture and giving it some love, but it can also mean turning waste items or materials into something completely different. Although upcycling isn't a new phenomenon, it continues to gain popularity as consumers become increasingly environmentally conscious about their shopping habits. Apart from that, the objectives of the survey that we are doing is to educate the society about the concept of upcycling. We would like to let people to get to know about upcycling deeper and create awareness about upcycling. Besides that, we would love to instill and encourage values or habits of upcycling to the society. We did the observation and not 100% of the respondents answered yes on the question, are you familiar with the concept of upcycling? Which means some of them are not aware and keep updated about the upcycling concept. Lastly, the most important objectives is to unleash people's creativity using used material. As from the survey, they have so many waste from their household which they can actually transform the waste into something new. This action may lead to increase their creativity in the society. Next, we figure out the problem statement based on the survey. The first problem that occurred during the observation is that, of course, we need to know what kind of household waste components that people usually throw. Based on the survey, there are various types of components that they throw away which can be used up to do upcycling. For instance, food waste, paper cards such as newspapers, cardboards, food packaging covers, and then plastic waste, tins and metals, ceramics and glasses, hazardous wastes such as electric light bulbs, batteries, automotive parts, discarded medicines, and lastly chemicals. However, the most famous answer would be food waste and paper cards. The second one would be, does people know the difference between upcycling and recycling? Based on the survey, some of them answered no to the question, which is, did you know the difference between upcycling and recycling? As for that, we would like to enlighten them that upcycling and recycling are two different terms. Recycling involves the destruction of waste in order to create something new, whereas upcycling takes waste and creates something new from it in its current state. They must know the difference so that they could apply in their daily lives. As a result, at the end of the survey, they can surely practice to upcycle from the waste from their household.
Community awareness about upcycling. The first question that being asked was, have you ever heard of the word upcycling, or are you familiar of the concept of upcycling? Based on the data, 78% of the respondents have heard about upcycling before, while 6% never heard about upcycling at all, and 16% of them were not sure whether they have heard it or not about upcycling. The second question is, where have you heard about upcycling? Internet was the most highly method on where the respondents have heard about upcycling, since everything these days can be done at the click of a button, followed by school, family and friends, news, and lastly, neighborhood. The third question is about how familiar they are with upcycling. Based on the respondents' answers, most of them were familiar with this concept. And the last question was about, do they know that upcycling and recycling are actually two different things? And luckily, major of them, which 62% of them, know about it. Here are some photos of us after doing the interview about upcycling. Most of them are IIUM students.
Moving on to some examples of upcycling activities that our respondents have done. First of all, we have a mini hanging vase. The materials used are usually glass containers from cookie jars originally used for door gifts from weddings, or glass bottles that we use to store various types of beverages. We also have a custom-made pencil case made from kain batik, which the respondent claimed that she made herself at her house. As you can see from the picture, although the pencil case might have a normal form factor, the beauty of the batik design elevates it to look like a premium product that can be sold for a good profit. The next example is quite out of the ordinary. One of our respondents actually transformed rubber boots into vases. I presume that he painted the boots with bright colors and decorated them outside of the house. Moving on to the benefits of upcycling. First of all, it is relatively cheaper than recycling. It also improves creativity. Upcycling also produces our own one-of-a-kind personally made items. And last but not least, when we upcycle, landfills will not be filled with loads of non-recyclable waste.
Assalamu alaikum, and my name is Nurdini Adrana, and I will be talking about the current progress for our project. The first current progress is the first update is the Instagram page that we made. We created this page because we realized from our survey that not everyone in our community is familiar with the concept, and our purpose is to post and upload useful tips and facts regarding upcycling and attract people and more community to practice and apply this concept with in their daily life. So we plan to get more followers so that more are exposed to this. And here we have the posting schedule on Instagram by group. We decided to post the content following the group and week. So as you can see right there, we have that the purpose for our content is to promote and spread awareness on upcycling. Our second update is regarding a non-profit organization that we found online, which is Hara Makers. They are based on Kuala Lumpur, and most of their products are regarding plastics, upcycling plastics products, and we think that they're very good at promoting upcycling in their community, and we think that maybe we could get some advice from experts like them and also get some ideas regarding a project that we might do in the future. We also think that we might be able to collab with them so that we can upscale our project into a more bigger community. And the photo on the right is an example of their upcycled product, which is a bread tags turned into a plant pot. We have also contacted this organization by email, and we're waiting for their reply.
Challenges that stop people from upcycling. Firstly, due to time constraints. As we all know, upcycling is a time-consuming activity requiring a surplus of time and energy because of the innovation required and resources needed to make the upcycled items into something that is valuable. Second, lack of creativity to beautify and upgrade the product into something useful. Next, the consumer's mentality is the biggest challenge to deal with the negative stigma that attaches upcycling to the idea of low-quality products. The truth is that a repurposed product can be of much higher quality than the original product. And finally, we need to have specific operation space. Carrying out upcycling activities takes some space to ensure that the product produced is a high-quality product.